Hello?
All right, welcome to Electric Ground. I'm sitting here and got the honor to be speaking with Matthew Vlcek, the man, the myth, the legend. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to also break down that interesting last name he has.
Yeah, all right. So my name's Matthew Vlcek. Vlcek is a Czechoslovakian in etymology, and it means little wolf. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, this wilderness,
Yeah.
survival of the fittest. You know what I mean? So, okay, and what all do you do?
Man, I'm a producer, I'm a guitarist, I'm a singer, I teach lessons, I run sound, just anything. My bottom line is music. If it's music, I'm doing it, because I only want to spend my time doing music. And so whatever I got to do to stay afloat, to pursue what I love.
All day. And your favorite aspect of what you do?
Oh, man.
It's all of it.
I mean, yeah, it's all of it. But I would say there's no purer form of communication.
Absolutely.
You get what everybody's about, and everybody gets what you're about, and it's hard, I think, especially these days, to feel seen. And that's what this has provided for me.
Yeah, and right out the gate, like I come over here and you already got the setup. There's already a working grinding man right out the gate, but the lighting lets everybody know what's up too. That form of communication right there. I said, okay, so he's not only about that life, but look, he's over here with it. So you have to.
When you step up to the plate to perform, to teach, whatever you do in music, you got to be at 100%. And so anytime I'm in my home, anytime I'm not out there putting myself at 100%, I want it to be as relaxing and inviting as possible. You know, this is my decompression zone, and it's really easy to get work done when you feel relaxed and doing it, especially when it comes to art.
And then your element. Instantly, I was like, yeah, this is his element right here. I walked into your element.
And you knew, yes.
And so I was like, yes, it needs to be like right off up in here, because in that way, you can definitely, be you 1,000%. So
yeah.
What you got coming up here in the near future, project-wise?
I've got a release that I'm sitting on. Something I realized lately was, I don't know, I had it in my head that when you're in an environment sometimes that doesn't foster growth, it creates competition.
Yeah.
And art, I mean, I guess anything that is a business is inherently competitive. But art should not be built on the foundation of competition, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to get every producer friend that I'm working with or have worked with on other projects to have input, have a say. I'll split royalties 99 different ways if it means that I'm capturing my environment.
Yeah.
And so I've got a song coming out probably in the next couple of months. I mean, it's however long whoever I'm working with takes to, but I just wanted to kind of put a project out there that everybody I know can work on a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm playing with a couple of projects right now. Eargasm with Sean Anderson.
And name, by the way.
Yeah. Cam Ballou. That's a little R&B project. We've got a couple of shows coming up. I'm running sound for Ghost Dance Band. They're also another Waco local band. At the start of June. And then I mean, that's it right now. We just finished the premiere, right, with Max Winningham and Quincy Dingus. Yeah. Right. That was a huge project. Very, very. I mean, you went to the show. Yeah. Light production.
That took a lot to put together. So it was a great show. Yep. Great show, and I can speak personally on your involvement in that, man. I mean, you was dialed in. And that was my first time seeing anything like that too. So to see the behind the scenes of it was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
And seeing you in your element there, you know what I mean? Because presentation, delivery, and then just the way that the crowd responded to the performance was great. So I hadn't asked how long you've been doing this stuff.
So all right,
Since I was a wee.
yeah, no, right. No, I started playing guitar when I was 12. And I started playing on stage at about 15. I started playing in a country band down in Coppers Cove, Texas.
Yeah.
I graduated high school in Killeen. But, I mean, this is all that I've pretty much done for money for the past, well, since I was 15. So almost 9 years now.
Got you.
Yep.
And what pushed you into the music?
I fell into it.
Like
Yeah, no, tripped face first onto the
face planted.
I was trying to do something else with my life. I was studying psychology my first year. I was really, really wanting to go to med school because physiology is just something that's always interested me.
Yeah.
But it was getting to the point where I was in class every day. I was on scholarship for music, so you have to take a certain amount of music classes. Yeah. And I was in school doing pre-med every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I was getting home, and I wasn't picking up my instrument. And then I was talking to some friends who were currently in med school. And one of my friends who was a resident at a hospital, and I was asking them hey, what's your life like? And they told me it was it's kind of like you drag yourself through the process and you don't have time for anything other than what you need to do.
Exactly.
And I got this real clear image in my head of myself at 40 years old going, oh yeah, I used to be a really good guitarist, and that broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at my degree, right? I'd taken all these music classes, and I pretty much, had a music degree at this point.
By this point.
And that's when I made a complete transformation. I swapped my major. I went from a vocal performance student because I was just studying voice because that's just kind of what was getting me scholarship stuff.
Yeah.
To composition because I knew that I loved songwriting and putting things together. And then it was over. And then it was I didn't have to do much work because everything that I wanted to do, I was already doing. I just had to realize, oh, this is what I want to do forever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you make that realization, and it should have been clearer to me, I should have known it 9 years ago when I first started playing that I was going to do this for the rest of my life.
I mean, it's what makes you the most happy, and it's the passion and dream. And the fact that you and I could say went out on a limb, but it's just really deciding this is what I'm going to do. Besides what all that means to get there and taking a chance, having the courage to just make this it.
Well, and you know something about the art world. You don't choose it; it chooses you.
It already called your name long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
I didn't have. This is what I was gonna do, whether I was gonna realize it or not. Yeah. Art. I got lucky. It's one of those things where my life could have gone a very different and dark way. And the only reason that I'm here today is because I have purpose and I have meaning. And I'm not going to spend my life chasing anything other than that.
That's right. And in a way, you could say the art and the music has saved you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was rescued by even myself. And if it wasn't for me having that outlet to express myself, I would have imploded. You know what I mean?
My dad hung himself on our front porch when I was 14. He was a combat engineer for the United States Army, and I've been moving around my whole life, military brat style, and he'd been deployed a couple of times over in Iraq and Afghanistan, and my mom didn't have a great life growing up either. a whole lot of trauma her way, and she dealt with drugs on and off her whole life, and I think that kind of affected his ability to deal with like PTSD and stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom fell really heavy back into the drugs after my dad killed himself.
To coach.
Yeah. And he hung himself, right? In fact, this is a piece of the 550 cord that he hung himself with.
Oh, snap.
So he sent me this from Iraq in 2007, and I cut this off. When I cut him down and cut it off, I kept that shit in my pocket, and I put my dog tags on it.
Hey.
Because I keep it around me. I keep real on me.
That's right. That's right.
Because I need to remember what this is all about.
That's it. And why you're still pushing, because, I mean, if we forget, that's the problem. You know what I mean?
You can lose meaning so quickly.
If you forget.
If you forget. My dad was working with another soldier, and my dad was like, oh, hey, the other soldier was like, hey, I've got this band, you should come out and see it. And they were looking for a guitarist, and my dad was like, my son plays guitar. And you get the same reaction, right? Oh, he's 15, dude. Yeah. He's not.
I mean, how nice.
How much work could he have put into this at this point in his life? Mm. And man, it's obsessive. You know this as an artist. Yeah. I don't do it because I want to do it. I do it because I do it.
That's right.
Yeah, like it's this thing where I sit and I hyperfixate and I just grind until I make something, till I write something, and I love it. There's this flow, this state that you get into that is hard to access anywhere else in life.
They're right. It's something that you tap into, and then it has all your attention and energy. Yeah. And you're also able to produce like the biggest, best product, whatever it is, because you're so engaged in what you're doing. That's right. Yeah. Because you got to be present with what you're doing. You can be doing the task.
You do well, and there's so many jobs that only require 20% of yourself, 30% of yourself. But I can't do anything unless I'm at 100%. And I say that not in a I don't want to do it, but in a I can't engage. Yeah. And if I can't engage, then it's really hard to get myself to do something. Yeah. It's a constant struggle to fight yourself. Fight your own brain to get up in the morning and do things, and if it's not completely 100% engagement for me, it's not worth. I mean, what are we here for?
Exactly. And see, and so that leads me to the question of what is the biggest thing that you feel like you're most proud of that you've done, or that done happened to you? It's two separate ones, but they go together. Like if it wasn't for this, I'm so thankful this.
Yeah. MCC was good for me. I got to work with Dr. Bronwyn Forbet, and I always make the joke, I hate singing. It's the worst. I wish I would have never learned how to sing, because it is the hardest instrument. It's like waking up in the morning and your guitar is tuned completely different, and you can't retune it. You just got to learn how to work with it for that day.
Gotcha.
And it changes every single day. And that, being able to sing, right, changes a lot about how you express yourself.
That's right.
A lot about how you express yourself. And now, not only am I just writing songs, and I'm matching physical sensations of what emotions create in me to physical sensations that are matching things that I can do. Not only that, but now I can put words to it. Now there's just, and I can go out and I can put a show on entirely by myself, because now I can sing and now I can play and I can express myself in this uniquely composite way. That was a big change for me. Getting that scholarship at MCC, getting my associate's degree. I mean, man, and it was one of those things where it's like I needed so many events to look back at and go, oh, that's right, music is what I've been doing this whole time. This whole entire time.
That's right.
I got in bad. Struggling, right? homelessness, all that stuff, dealing with suicide, it can make it very easy for you to feel like you're missing something. Suicide is someone that's close to you or someone that you love digs a hole in you that you try to fill in different ways.
Yeah, fill that void.
It affects your relationships negatively. And so I was all, and you know, I mean, through most of my adolescence, right, I didn't have parents.
Yeah.
And so I was craving love and affection and putting way too much pressure and intensity on all of my relationships, because if it's not life or death, you know what I mean? I was making every situation life or death.
That's right.
And that causes tension, that causes pressure, and I was putting myself in relationships that I knew were unhealthy for me, and then being wildly upset when they failed, when they weren't successful.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my dumbass, sorry.
Yeah. Wait, your dumbass,
yeah,
my dumbass.
No,
hold on.
yeah, no, like I really did. I made some mistakes, figuring myself out, and I guess everybody does.
But not everybody figures himself out. So you had that time of reflection to be like, so let me see what in the world's going on here and why this is going on. And that you being able to break down yourself is already a win, because now you got a story to tell and you're also not in that same spot you was.
Learning how to express my negative emotions. We imitate. That's what we do as humans. That's how we learn how to talk, right? We don't learn how to talk by going to school. We learn how to talk by listening to everybody around us talk and making. So how did I deal with painful emotions? Well, what examples did I have for me? Well, I could either kill myself or drink about it. Those were the tools I was given.
Yeah.
Those aren't successful tools.
No, we got to shuffle the deck.
No. So I went to a bar one night, and I was drinking, and I was alone, and I was sad, and I was upset, and I just wanted to feel connected to something. And I remember pacing myself and going, okay, I'm drinking, but I should be good. And I got in my truck, and that's the last thing I remember.
Yeah.
And I woke up in my bed, had my phone, had my charger, nobody was in my bed. I had my wallet.
Nobody's.
I had my cards. I had my ID. No. All right, we're good. We made it home. I am hungover. I need to go get breakfast tacos and like a Gatorade, right?
Yeah.
Get in my truck, back up, and I hear this just god-awful scraping. Something is riding right up against the tire. What is going on? So I pull over and I look, and pressed in is a side of my vehicle. I hit something.
Oh, man. On the way home.
Yeah, there's no paint marks, so I didn't hit another car. I mean, you know, obviously if I'd have hurt somebody, it would have been easy to figure that out.
That's right.
But I could have killed myself. I could have killed somebody else, even worse.
That's right.
Even if I don't believe my life matters, I could have hurt somebody else. That's when I realized, okay, I need to do something else. I need to express the way that I feel in a different way, or I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna hurt somebody. And that is a death you can't come back from. Knowing that you took somebody else's life, can't come back from that.
Nah, who didn't ask for it, who didn't know what was going on, and was just wrong place, wrong time over us not sorting stuff out.
All I had to do was just figure out how I'm feeling and express it.
Yeah. Now, on that same note, where do you feel you are now with the music you've gotten engaged in and projects you've done? You feel like you're at a better place than back then?
Yeah. In every single way. Financially, I'm doing worse, but because I'm playing on a bigger level. I'm making more money now doing this than I was a few years ago, but it feels like I'm making less money because I'm doing bigger things. Emotionally, yeah. Dude, I mean, I didn't have an Instagram, and I was like, all right, well, if you're going to be an artist, you need to have social media presence. So I started an Instagram, and I wrote a new song every week for a year. And it was practice. That's all I was doing. I was practicing writing so that anytime any weirdness was going on in me, I could find it immediately. Find immediately what it was, combinations of things. It's just like, your problems are a forest. And a forest is made up of a couple of different types of plants.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure out what plant is causing what and chop it down individually, right? There's anger and there's sadness. Human emotions are way more complex than just one base emotion.
Yeah.
So what is causing me to feel this way, and why? Why is it causing me to feel this way? And I answer all of that through this. Sometimes there aren't words for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just sounds or feelings.
But either way, it comes out. There's that expression, there's that outlet.
And I feel very competent now in my songwriting capabilities. I'm still a toddler when it comes to, man, you think that because you've been performing for so long, nearly a decade, that you'd get into the studio and then it'd just be magic. But performance is not production. And so I'm learning. Right.
And you got to always continuously be learning.
Yep.
I mean, you don't get better, but sometimes, even though what you're learning may be new, you don't even get to sustain the level that you're at without learning. You could, if you didn't learn, you can start going backwards because you might even forget what you already knew.
And the reason that I perform well is because I've done hundreds of performances. I've made 13 songs. I've produced or released 13 songs, Once I get to the point where that's hundreds, I'll feel a little bit better about my lot. But I mean, that's the thing now. Is now I have the tools. I'm the greatest feeling in the world. I go to bed on Sunday, and wake up tomorrow, and I'm getting 2 or 3 phone calls. Hey, I need some work done. I got a gig for you.
Time to get busy. Time to get to it.
I've nestled myself in comfortably enough to where work is coming to me instead of me having to come to the work.
Yeah.
And that's big. That's a big level to reach.
That's right. So now when it comes to this is, you've been doing your work, people have been hitting you up. How important do you feel it is to collaborate with others?
This is a collaborative art. Yeah. You don't make nobody makes it without a team out here. It's hard. We were talking about this earlier, right? It's hard to build a team in an environment that doesn't foster the support for the growth.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that you're not looking. It doesn't mean right now, if you showed up with $20,000, I would be able to put on a very, very decent production with everybody that I know that I could get to show up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's important. I agree with you on that because also, I mean, you learn from people as well. Even just crossing paths with people, having a simple conversation, you realize similarities, differences, but they may be going about something in a way that different than how you provide it. That's it. And then you didn't realize even the realization of compatibility. Like, hey, well, and if 2 forces came together that are formidable, like I imagine that the outcome could be great. Could do something unique and different. That'll impact the whole city.
Well, and the more things you expose yourself to, the more people that you collaborate with, the more ideas you have to present when you're collaborating with the next person. I've been playing for Carver Park Baptist Church for like a year now. It's gospel music, right? Love playing it. But I'm playing gospel music, and I've played country, and I've played in metal bands, and I want to hear how everybody expresses anything.
Yeah.
Because you can learn from that. And if you can't, and if it's not something that you want to add directly to your vocabulary, you at least know where to find it if that's what you need to find.
Yeah.
We're a team, all musicians, we're a team building a vocabulary, building a dictionary.
And see, knowing where to find that's important. And on the strength of that, where can everybody find you? On social media, websites?
Oh, everything's the same for me. If you figure out how to spell my last name, Vlcek, Vlcek. You will find me. Matthew_Vlcek. That's every one of my socials. I've got a website, MatthewVlcek.com. I've got an email, mv@MatthewVlcek.com. If you just type in Matthew Vlcek, you'll find me.
You're gonna see the image; it's gonna automatically pop up.
Yep.
Google is friends with you.
Google is friends with me. Yeah, you get a couple of releases under your belt, and all of a sudden you exist.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. I'm telling you, he's been in the game for a hot minute. Somebody who's constantly learning. You know, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we're looking forward to seeing great things with you on Electric Ground. We out.